my gosh. So what I'm doing now is like the greatest honor of my life. Like I can't imagine, I'm totally broken. I will never work for someone else again on something else again. I just can't. My name is Josh Swihart. I'm the CEO of the Electric Coin Company. We build Zcash. We're the inventors, the creators of Zcash. We continue to support it. And now also Zashi, which is a user experience for Zcash to allow people to have financial privacy. I'm kind of an amalgamation of a lot of things. I enjoy like historical novels, writing poetry, certain kinds of art. It just stirs my soul. I'm a dad, I'm a father to wonderful kids, the joy of my life. I'm a husband. I went on a privacy journey because I didn't recognize it as that important. There was a time, like when I was really young, I was into computer games and cracking, and I ran a bulletin board. And this was so pre-internet. And so in that world, yeah, we all kind of kept our identity secret. We all had handles. And I didn't really think about it in terms of privacy then. I thought about it in terms, it was kind of a game, and I could create an identity like of who I wanted to be online. And nobody knew that I was 16 years old. And I didn't know how old the other people were that I was interacting with on these bulletin board systems. And so that was kind of the extent. It's like it gave me the freedom to play around with a different identity. And then, you know, fast forward, I was actually building systems that were taking away from privacy, like exploiting the amount of data that was available on people online. It started with an Intel system that I was hired to manage. I was hired to manage a program for the UAE government to capture information about spy satellites and drones, and collecting all that information and helping them figure out what might be happening. But we used that, like my business partner and I later used that technology to actually aggregate data on people. So that's when it started getting really creepy to me, that like we could collect all this information. And that's when I really started thinking about the implications of online privacy and what we were doing digitally. But if we know we're being watched and we know that we're being surveilled, like we'll actually change our behavior, right? We'll act differently. We won't be our true selves. When my daughter was growing up, I would often in the evenings, I'd put music on in our living room and I'd dance with her, and I'd close our curtains because I wanted her just to feel free with me, just to be goofy. Those are very kind of special moments, and I got to see this side of her where she wasn't being watched. She had nobody to impress. My son recently got married, and at the wedding it was really kind of interesting where she just didn't want to dance in front of other people. Again, like it alters your behavior. So privacy is like very much rooted in our humanness. That's really important. That people have the ability to kind of live out their lives and not have to have the cognitive load of like, I need to always watch what I'm doing. So there was about a decade ago, the FBI showed up at my front door and he said, look, there's a threat against your life. One of the things that I had learned is how much information is out there and available. People's home addresses, public database. I need to lock down information about where I live and where I go. And I stopped posting that information on social media because it is terrifying. It's terrifying to think that not only that you might be at risk, but the people that you love are at risk. So this became very real for me when my friend, who's community leader, Banjara community leader in India, sent me a note and said, okay, in my slum area, there's been a fire. People don't have access to food or to blankets, or can you help? He was not banked. I went online to Western Union and tried to send him some money, and they rejected me. No reason. They just said, can't do it. I thought, like at the time, I was like, crypto solves this. My counterparty on the other side, like, do I put him at risk by sending him money in this way where If I sent him Bitcoin, I knew it's a public database and his counterparty is able to see his balance. Is it going to put him at a financial risk? So that's when I went looking for privacy options for blockchains. And so then I went down the Zcash rabbit hole. I decided to leave then to focus on this problem full time. And I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Started knocking on Zoko's door. I started interviewing with them, and then they started giving me tasks like record yourself, like giving a little spiel on why privacy is important to you. And then some like months would go by, and it was like, oh, do competitive analysis between Zcash and some other coins. And at one point, I told my wife, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, these people don't know what they're doing. They're not serious people. Like, I've been an executive for over a decade, and they're making me jump through these hoops. It's like, what is this thing? And my wife said, get over yourself. It's like, you are obsessed with finding this solution. You just need to be humble. And then eventually I had the opportunity to go like sit with Zuko over lunch and meet him. And it was, for me, like he's iconic, and like you're meeting somebody that's doing something heroic. I joined full-time in the first part of 2018. I was there until the summer of 2023 when I left the company to be able to speak more freely in the community. I felt like the community was really struggling. This project is going to die unless we have like radical change. And in December, Zuko stepped down, and the board asked me to step in. What I hope for in our future and what we're building is a system that is inclusive and open to all people, where they're not censored and shut down by some arbitrary person. I need a digital version of cash that I can store and I can use and I can get loans on and do what I want to do to live freely without these, arbitrary constraints from these large financial institutions. So what I'm doing now is like the greatest honor of my life. It's not about a title. It's not about a role. It's having the opportunity to have a role to play to bring about a better world that really benefits people. Like, the smartest decision I probably ever made was to quit a full-time job, not take a salary, put my family under financial stress, and go down this rabbit hole. Because once I started down that rabbit hole, I was done. I was done. So it is incredibly meaningful, and I feel a great honor that I have the ability to do something meaningful with my life and what I've been given, and hopefully I'm giving more than I'm taking through this process.